What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video for the final time this season. Welcome. Thank you for clicking in. Thank you for watching. Game week 38 is done. FPL 2021-2022 has finally drawn to a close. Probably the season we've had with the most swings, the most roundabouts, the most twists and turns we've ever had. The amount of double game weeks, the amount of blank game weeks we've had. Congratulations if you've made it to the end, whether it's been a good season or not. If you are watching, you will likely finish the season. Well done for sticking through. We will go again next year, whether it was good or bad. We're going to do a quick wrap up of how I got on this week, how my season has gone overall, a few highlights, team of the season, and also a few low points for me this season as well. Let me know in the comments as we go through things you agree with, things you change, how you got on this season as well, whether you did well in game week 38, whether you won your mini leagues, your overall ranks, all of that. I want to hear it all, your highs and your lows of the season. Put it all in the comment section down below. Before we get in, and I'll say it again at the end, thank you all very much for watching. Whether you've watched one video, whether you've watched all 180 uploads from me this season, thank you all for your support. In terms of how I got on this week, I scored 80 points flat. I made 2 transfers. I brought in Mason Mount and Harry Kane. Harry Kane, a good transfer in. Mason Mount, less so. But it was still 2 transfers that paid off because I sold Richarlison and Salah. Again, Salah did get his goal, so there's not actually that much in it, but still happy enough with that. I got an overall rank after the final week of the season, after all updates have happened, of 1,345th in the world. My second back-to-back top 5k finishes. I'm pretty happy with that, I cannot lie. I wanted top 1k, but going into game week 38, I was too far away for it really to be a possibility. So yeah, very happy to sort of get those back-to-back finishes. We'll go again next year to hopefully make it the hat-trick. Got a few things which I will talk about in pre-season about what I've learned, what I want to do better next season, how I can think I could even improve that from this year, but we'll save that for pre-season and we'll talk about potentially some highs and lows, a bit more of an entertaining and light-hearted video for you all today. In terms of who did well for me, Robertson with a 9, James with a 7. James lost his clean sheet, but ended up getting an assist a few moments later. Very happy with that. Midfield was really where it was at, with Son getting my captaincy return, also getting the golden boot. Congratulations to him, the first player without penalties to win the golden boot. An incredible achievement. What a season he has had. Amazing. For me, player of the season. For me, he should have won it, but there was a lot of debate about De Bruyne, Salah, Son. For me, it should have been Heung-min Son. Now, next to him, a player, if anyone's watched my content recently, I've not been that happy having Kulusevski in my team, but boy, did he turn up and perform in game week 38 to get Tottenham that Champions League spot. 16 points with 2 goals. He could have had a third as well, actually, before he netted for his second. Again, very happy with him. When I was at the Chelsea game seeing these goals go in, I was very happy because I didn't really expect that much from him, and he was probably the bigger of the differentials looking at my team. Up front, Kane, as I've mentioned, and then Pukki kind of had to start because we got news that Alonso was not going to play. My bench scored a total of 1 point. Nothing really to write home about that there. That's my team for the final week of the season. As I said, 1,345th in the entire world. Absolutely buzzing with that. Let me know how you got on in the comment section. But now let's move on to my FPL team of the season. So for me, this is my FPL team of the season. Now, this isn't just top point scorers. This isn't who I think's been the best footballer in real life. This tries to bring in together a combination of players who have scored well when we've owned them, not necessarily well throughout the season. Players who have provided really good value. There are a few players like Kevin De Bruyne who miss out in this team, but that's because he's quite expensive, and there are some cheap midfielders who I think have done an amazing job for the price that they've been. In goal, we've gone with Ramsdale. Not the highest scorer. You could have gone with Lloris, you could have gone with Alisson in goal, but the amount of clean sheets, bonus points, save points that he got for us, particularly in that first half of the season, he has to be the goalkeeper in here for me. 135 points for Ramsdale was a great own for so many of us. The goalkeeper we have on the bench is Foster. Cycling GK had to be in there. More for that game week 36 bench boost heroics. We got 14 points for all of us. Very happy with him there. Those are the goalkeepers I've gone with. In defence, the Liverpool double up at wing back had to be in there. Trent and Robbo have been great this season. Trent more first half of the season, Robbo second half. They had to be in there. These guys have been amazing. Whether you've owned 1 or 2 going into the late parts of the season, you will have done really well as a result. To go with them, we also have Matip. Now, this could have been Van Dijk. You could have gone with some of the other players who maybe scored more. But his price is 5.3 million at the end of the season. He started the season at 5 million. He scored 170 points. This is only 16 points behind Robertson this season, and Robertson has been amazing. Matip's goal returns, clean sheets, bonus points has gone so under the radar. What a defender. If you owned him for the past few weeks particularly, he has scored goals, got assists, been an absolute wonder to get you up those ranks in the final weeks. I didn't own him very much. I don't think I owned him at all actually, but he had to be in there because of the value he had. Rudiger, again, Mr. Consistent. I could have gone with Reece James, but he's been so hit and miss. It was close between the two. I've gone with Rudiger just for that consistency that he had. We know, and I love Rudiger as a player. His last season in the Premier League before he goes, so he does get in here. And finally, Cancelo makes up the defence. 200 points for him. He's been great, so consistent. Attacking return, bonus, and a joy to watch as well. What a player a lot of these guys are as well. Cancelo makes up. We've gone with 5 at the back. I think that sums up the season completely. The defence has really been where the value has been. In midfield, the Golden Boot winners in Salah and Son are in here. Salah getting the most points again, the most goals and most assists in the Premier League season. Of course, he's in there. I'm quite happy he shared the Golden Boot with Son. I think they both deserve it. Son, for someone without penalties, what a year he has had. Again, Tottenham would not be in the Champions League if it wasn't for him. I cannot explain that enough. He's been so good. I've owned him very much for the second half of the season. I owned Kane early on. And yeah, he's been a joy to own and a joy to watch as well. Next in, we've gone with Jared Bowen. And again, he's had such a good season. Such a good season with West Ham. They again started with Benrahma and Antonio early on in the season, performing very well. Then Bowen stepped up to the plate and has been their main goal threat for probably the last 20 weeks of the season. Didn't quite get into the Europa League this year, but again, I expect them to have a good season next year in the Conference League, and I think Bowen will get a massive price increase. And finally, we've gone with Saka. Again, a cheap option just for his value, what he's done, particularly second half of the season, really stepping up, hoping to get Arsenal into the Champions League. They didn't quite get it, but he has been a great asset nonetheless. Taken some penalties, taken some free kicks as well. What an option he's been. Really, in those doubles at the end of the season with the blank game weeks as well, been very, very vital for us in our FPL teams. And up front, to complete the lineup, we've gone with Harry Kane. The forwards have been pretty poor this season, but Kane has really come into his own in that second half of the season, particularly as him and Son linked up really well. He put the move to Manchester City at the back of his mind and turned up and got himself into the Champions League next year. I expect him to stay at Tottenham in order to play in that. On the bench, Smith Rowe, first half of the season, off the bench or starting. Majority of his goals came off the bench. What a guy he was if you owned him. We've gone with Antonio as well for how well he started the season. And Ivan Toney at times didn't start that well, but has ticked along very nicely. So this is my 15-man FPL team of the season. Let me know what you think of it. Any changes you would make, any players you think you'd add in or who you would remove in the comment section down below. But now, my personal highs and lows of this season. First of all, the season highlights. So I've got 10 in here for you. First of all, Ronaldo captain, game week 33. The week where a lot of people went elsewhere. It was the week before I played my wild card. He scored a hat-trick against Norwich. Hadn't done anything for a while. Amazing for me. An absolute massive rank boost. I went from 37 to 14k. Game week 37, 99 points last week on free hit. I could have had more if I didn't captain Danny Ings, but still a great week for me. Salah triple captain, I'm sure will be on a lot of your lists as well. Game week 26, he scored his hat-trick, got his assist as well. What a return. Game week 25, the week before, Bruno Fernandes captain, where he scored in the 93rd minute to complete his monster haul in that one. Next up, game week 20, where I actually captained Ronaldo and Salah missed his penalty against Leicester. I didn't watch that game. I didn't even check the score until sort of full time because I was so worried about what Salah was going to do to me. And then I saw he missed a penalty. So I know it's probably on the worst moments for a lot of you, but for me, that is one of my highlights. Number 6, game week 16, moving back, Gallagher 15-pointer. He scored in the 90th minute against Everton as well. What a player that was. And to go with another bit of a differential pick for me, in game week 5, I had Ismail Assar. I know a Watford player that wasn't Dennis. I had in my team. He scored 2 goals, got 15 points, which really put my season with the motors on in game week 5. Was so happy with that. Was a big differential indeed. And game week 1, scoring 100 points. Not a bad way to start the season as well. What a game week that was. I didn't have Benrahma, so some of you may have scored more than me. But yeah, that's definitely in there. And then personal landmarks for myself, 17,000 subscribers and 43,000 followers on Twitter. Thank you guys. If you haven't already, please make sure you're subscribed. We'll come back with another 180 videos for you to watch next year. Thank you all very much for watching throughout the season. Thank you very much for subscribing, liking, commenting, Follow me on Twitter, all of it. It is unbelievable. I cannot ever have dreamed of hitting these numbers in my sort of second full season of doing YouTube and also on Twitter. So thank you all. But before we finish, before we end the final video, I got to go through some of those low points. Not all been smooth sailing this season. So just 5 low points for me. Number 1, practically the only one that I really want to talk about or don't want to talk about is Dennis captaincy red card. Game week 24. What on earth happened? Dennis, you will always be remembered in the lives and memories of us FPL managers this season for what you have not done and what you have not done in front of goal and in terms of getting sent off as well that week. Danny Ings, captaincy blank last week was dreadful. Don't want to talk about that. Could have been Richarlison. It could have been Vardy. I'd be in the 1K if I'd have done that, but is what it is. Danny Ings, not happy with you at all. Number 3, Ryan Ait-Nouri. If anyone doesn't know what happened here, basically, I brought in Ait-Nouri. He'd been really good. He got injured in the warm-up. Then they went on to keep, I think, 4 clean sheets in 4 matches where he didn't play a single minute. I then sold him. He came back into the team and got a 12-point return the week I sold him. Honestly, you couldn't write it. It went that badly. Martin Odegaard, I've owned him for about 15 game weeks this season. I think he's returned once in my team, returned 4 times on my bench, and every other time I started him, he got a blank. Again, you can't write this sort of stuff. And then Livramento started the season. If you guys had him, well done. He did so well. I didn't have him, and he really, every time I checked the Southampton score, it was clean sheet for Southampton, goal for Livramento. And I was thinking, how can this guy, I need to buy him in. And then I go and buy him in, and about a week later, they have no more clean sheets practically for the rest of the season. Thank you all for watching. Have a lovely summer. Let me know your highs and lows of your FPL season in the comments section down below. Thank you all for watching. Please do like, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. We will be back in about a month's time. Thank you very much, and I will be back again next season.